The Mabuza children, they live with their guilt now. The doctor cannot sleep at night without seeing his father's face. The lawyer lost not just his practice but his peace of mind. The businesswoman's health never fully recovered, and she believes it's because of the stress of knowing what she had done. Philip. Do they ever talk about it? Gogo. The doctor came back to the village once. He stood at his parents' graves and wept like a child. He told me afterward that he would give everything he owned, every house, every car, every rand in his bank account, just to have one more day with his father. Just to say sorry. Just to serve him a proper meal instead of leftovers. Grace. But he can't. Gogo. No. Death is final in that way. We get one chance to love our parents while they're alive. One chance to honor them. One chance to repay even a fraction of what they gave us. After that, all we have is regret and flowers that wilt on graves. Susan. Gogo, this story is making me scared. What if we accidentally do something bad to you and Grandpa? Gogo. Pulling Susan close, oh my sweet child. You won't. Do you know how I know? Because you're here. Because you listen to these stories. Because you ask questions. The Mabuza children stopped listening long before they stopped caring. They stopped visiting long before they stopped sending money. Sophie. But Gogo, how do we make sure? How do we avoid their mistakes? Gogo. By remembering. By understanding that success is not measured in money alone. The Mabuza children were successful by the world's standards. They had careers, wealth, status. But they failed at the most important thing, being human. Being kind. Being grateful. Timothy. What should they have done differently? Gogo. Many things. They could have sent enough money for their parents to live comfortably, not just survive. They could have visited regularly, not just on Christmas. They could have invited their parents to their homes, given them rooms, made them part of their children's lives. They could have honored them publicly instead of hiding them away. Philip. But they said they were busy. Gogo. Everyone is busy. Your parents are busy. I was busy when I was young, raising your mother and your uncles, working the fields, cooking, cleaning. But we make time for what matters. If you have time for a swimming pool, you have time for your parents. If you have time for expensive dinners, you have time for your parents. If you have time for social media and parties, you have time for your parents. Grace. It's about priorities. Gogo. Yes, child. It's about priorities. It's about remembering that the hands that fed you when you were too young to hold a spoon should never scrape the bottom of an empty pot in their old age. It's about remembering that the people who stayed up with you when you were sick deserve someone to stay with them when they are sick. Sophie. Gogo, is karma always about children treating parents badly? Does it work other ways too? Gogo. Karma works in all directions, Sophie. How you treat anyone who is vulnerable, who depends on you, who gave you life or love or care. It works with siblings, with friends, with the elderly in your community. But the bond between parent and child is special. It's sacred. That's why the karma there is stronger. Susan. Because they gave us life. Gogo. More than life, little one. They gave you everything when you had nothing. You couldn't feed yourself, so they fed you. You couldn't walk, so they carried you. You couldn't speak, so they guessed what you needed. You were completely helpless, and they chose to help you anyway. Every single day. 4 years. Timothy. So when they become helpless again, we should do the same for them. Gogo. Exactly. That's the circle of life. That's the balance. That's what karma demands. Not perfection. Not sacrifice beyond your means. But respect. Dignity. Care. Making sure they have enough food, proper food, not leftovers. Making sure they have medicine. Making sure they're not lonely. Making sure they know they're still valued, still loved, still part of the family. Philip. But Gogo, what if someone really can't afford to help their parents? What if they're struggling too? Gogo. That's different, Philip. The ancestors understand poverty. They understand hardship. What they don't understand, what karma doesn't forgive, is neglect when you have plenty. The Mabuza children had swimming pools while their parents had empty pantries. That's not poverty. That's choice. That's cruelty. Grace. So if someone really can't help, karma won't punish them. Gogo. Karma sees effort. Karma sees intentions. If you're poor but you share your last piece of bread with your parents, karma sees that. If you're struggling but you visit them, spend time with them, make them feel loved, karma sees that too. What karma punishes is the hardness of heart. The turning away when you could help. The lies. The excuses. The shame of your own parents. Sophie. Gogo, do you think the Mabuza children learned their lesson? Do you think they'll change? Gogo. Some lessons come too late for the teacher but not too late for others. The doctor now volunteers at an old age home every week. He cares for other people's parents since he can't care for his own anymore. The lawyer started a foundation to help elderly people with legal problems. The businesswoman donates to food programs for the elderly. Timothy. So they're trying to make up for it. Gogo. They're trying. But you can't truly make up for abandoning your own parents. You can only try to prevent others from making the same mistake. They give talks now, sometimes. They tell their story. They warn young people not to follow their path. That's their penance. Susan. Do their own children forgive them? Gogo. Some do. Some don't. The doctor's son still treats him coldly. The lawyer's children understand now that they were taught the wrong lessons, and they're trying to unlearn them. The businesswoman's daughter, they speak now, but there's a distance between them that may never close. That's part of karma too. The damage doesn't always heal, even with time. Philip. That's really sad. They ruined their relationships with both their parents and their children. Gogo. Yes. That's the price of forgetting what matters. They chased success and forgot gratitude. They chased wealth and forgot love. They chased status and forgot dignity. And in the end, they had houses but not homes. They had money but not peace. They had achievements but not respect. Grace. Gogo, what if we see someone else treating their parents badly? Should we say something? Gogo. That depends on your relationship with them and whether they'll listen. Sometimes people need to be confronted with their behavior. Other times, they need to learn through consequence. But you can always choose to treat your own parents well. That's the best way to fight against this kind of karma spreading. Sophie. By being a good example? Gogo. Exactly. When your friends see you respecting your parents, caring for your grandparents, making time for family, they notice. When they see that you're not ashamed of where you come from, that you honor the people who raised you, some of them will think about their own behavior. Some will change.